No, this is something.
He was a roaster.
Jermaine Wiggins says something. I'm telling you, Bonte, I want you to get into the Brock Purdy thing.
Oh, don't. No. See,
just hear me
when
out.
I do it, I'm a hater.
No, just hear me out. Hear me out. I have never seen an athlete that we are not allowed to have even healthy dialogue about ever.
Nope.
In sports radio.
It's unbelievable.
So Jermaine Wiggins brings up just, what he feels to be some shortcomings of Brock Purdy.
Outside the bubble.
Okay.
Outside the bubble.
And
player.
A player. Championship. A Super Bowl champion.
Who was a front row for Tom Brady, the arguably the greatest quarterback of all time. 707. Some of the dumbest takes I've heard in a while. So the Ravens should trade Lamar. The Bills should trade Josh Allen. Philly should trade Hurts. 925. Purdy can't get you over the hump? What? 415. Stop. Just stop. And just over and over and over. 510. Who is this clown talking trash about Purdy? Quarterback? Dumb. Over and over and over again. Guys.
The only quarterback we've been allowed to rip over the last 7 years.
Well, we rip Colin Kaepernick.
No. The only quarterback we've present, because we do rip Kaepernick, and that's not fair, but whatever. Kaepernick had a better career than Jimmy G in the Niner uniform, I'll tell you that much. Listen, we cannot criticize Jimmy, and you cannot criticize Brock. I've been on these airways for over 7 years.
Why?
Trey Lance was fair game. I have no idea why. But Jermaine, I said the same thing. Remember, we were texting during the game. I said this is a Jimmy G performance from Brock Purdy. So that leads me to this.
Well, so
go ahead, finish. Finish.
We can critique Tim Lincecum. We can critique, pick whoever, Barry Bonds, Buster Posey. But the line is drawn at Brock Purdy? Why?
So they call
and I'm not saying that he's not good. We're saying he's good. The question is he great enough?
Here we go. 415. And now the sleeves are already rolled up like a SFYBL pullover. I love this.
Yeah, isn't it the coolest logo?
It is really cool. Feel like I'm strong, got muscles, whatever.
Yeah,
makes
you
me
look
slim. So 415, send me the mobile text line. And I'm ready to dive into this because I was listening to Signing Guru yesterday and I was banging my head against the steering wheel at some of the takes. 415, Bonte, don't be a hater. Don't be a hater when it comes to Brock Purdy. Now, I'm not looking for anybody's credit. I'm not looking for a pat on the back. But was I a hater when I said I'd rather have Brock Purdy right now than Justin Herbert? Going in training camp, middle of training camp was Spadoni. You was out, Shasky.
Yeah.
What's Spadoni? Spadoni's like, you're crazy. I was like, I'd rather have Brock Purdy right now because I believe this offense could average 30 points a game. And during the course of the season, halfway through, he was playing better than Mahomes. But was I a hater then? No, I wasn't. I'm just telling you what my eyes saw. And you can disagree with me. Purdy looked average for most of the postseason. First thing you said to me walking out the Super Bowl, Brady wins that game. There's a difference between Mahomes and Purdy, and it's not even close. It's not even being a hater.
It was sitting on a platter.
Very good season.
It was sitting on a platter, and someone had to seize it, and Mahomes seized it.
But what disturbed me yesterday, and I wasn't mad or anything, it was their show. Steiny was talking about Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
And they were saying, the league, this, and I got all the quarterback trades or the wide receiver trades, and maybe the league doesn't value Ayuk and Debo like we do. I just think John Lynch and Shanahan play hardball with their players, saying, you want our players? We want to get paid for this. And if you're not going to meet our price, then we're not going to do it because either way, we're in a win-win situation. I like how they do business. However, and I said in the playoffs, Jordan Love looked good. Now he threw the 2 picks in Levi's Stadium, but Jordan Love was on fire in the playoffs. And I think Purdy's good. But Steiny brought up something yesterday about Brandon Ayuk. It was like he did not have a spectacular postseason. I think he had 3 catches per game. Well, isn't that a byproduct of the quarterback? Ayuk can't thrive unless he gets the football. Ayuk can't thrive unless the quarterback makes a good throw. How many deep routes in the postseason? How many crossing routes did we see Brandon Ayuk wide open, jumping up and down, throwing a LeBron-like tantrum for not getting the football because Purdy didn't see it? Don't forget about the pick 6 he should have thrown against Green Bay that dropped Darnell Savage right in the head. Boom. Changes the entire football game. So that's Jermaine Wiggins. So I knew as soon as he said it, I said, here we go again. We're going to be called haters. But Ayuk struggles. The reason why Ayuk was really disturbed because he wasn't getting the football. He wasn't getting targeted. And he's the best wide receiver on the team. And we saw the deep routes where Purdy was inaccurate. Hell, he saved an interception on the miracle against Detroit late third quarter. So that's why, but what disturbed me about the conversation, Shasky, I know I'm long-winded here, was that Guru and Steiny were talking about Ayuk and whether or not they're valued and whether or not Debo, not one mention of the quarterback. Well, maybe the struggles happen to do with the quarterback. Isn't that, if the quarterback doesn't play well, how's the receiver going to play well?
Well, we all can agree that he's a really good player, right? Can we all agree there? He's a really good player. But the second you pay the quarterback or are in line to pay the quarterback $50 million plus a year, you better be sure you have the right type of quarterback that can be a difference maker when you have lesser parts financially surrounding that player. All right? Like, I think we can all understand that component. Now, he's a young player. I'm hoping him to get better. I think he's going to grow. I think his familiarity in the offense is only going to get better, you know? But these are the real equations that you have to have set up. Now, as we were going through this trade, who you're going to trade, who you're not going to trade with the wide receivers, what was the number one skepticism of people that were like, don't trade Ayuk? It was, I'm not sure Brock Purdy can elevate the next man up. Because he's very young.
What did Jermaine Wiggins just say?
He asked the same question.
He said, I'm not sure Purdy can carry a team.
So that's the question that I have for the audience. Like, we all think he's really good. I think if you took the money away, most people think Dak is really good. But the minute you pay Dak the money, now you can't afford Amari Cooper. Now you can't afford that left guard. Now you can't afford a defensive player, right? Because you're paying that guy $60 million. Like, in a vacuum, I like Dak Prescott. I hate paying Dak Prescott $50 million. I certainly don't want to pay him $65 million, which is what he's looking for. So do the same equation and remove emotion for Brock Purdy.
We can't.
I love Brock Purdy, but paying him 50 or 60 million, if you're not a little like hesitant, like, I think you're being unrealistic.
Well, we can't. We can't do it. So that's why
There's only three quarterbacks in the league I don't blink when I want to pay $65 million. Mahomes, Josh Allen, and I would throw Joe Burrow in there. Some people won't. Some people may say there's only one, and it's Patrick Mahomes. Why wouldn't you have a little pause with Brock Purdy? And I like Brock Purdy.
I look at the 3 games with Jermaine Wiggins.
Just a little pause.
The Jermaine Wiggins, what he said there, is he capable of carrying a team? Well, in only his second year, and I give him a pass for that. He wasn't ready for that this past season.
I totally agree.
And I said it in real time, that's okay.
Yeah.
He's only in his second year. It's his first time starting from day one. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with him not being able to carry a team, which is why I don't want to trade Ayuk and Debo, because I don't know if he's ready to carry a team. All right? We don't know that yet. We saw the 3 games without Debo and Trent Williams, and they scored 17, 17, 17, and they struggled mightily offensively. And he threw a lot of picks. What did he throw, 5 picks during that 3-game stretch? 5 picks? That's it. Purdy's fine. I have no problem with him being the starting quarterback with the 49ers. But I truly believe right now you need to surround him with plenty of weapons. Even when Brady first started, we're talking about Tom Brady. They were a run-first team, and they played defense first.
Yes.
But now with the 49ers, that defense is lost a little bit, and they're not the same defense. Yeah. So now you need the offense to carry the defense at times. And the offense, look, they stepped up in the second half against Detroit, coming back in that football game. You get credit for that. Brock gets credit for that. You get credit for coming back against Green Bay. They get all the credit for that. But that's an outside perspective about Brock Purdy. And you don't think those same thoughts? Come on, man. Like, we want Brock Purdy. We're desperate for a franchise quarterback. Desperate. But I do step back a little bit when Jed York says, you know, Brock Purdy's going to reset the quarterback market. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on now. Because the expectations get raised.
But not only that, and I look at, people are like, well, he's only making $900,000 this year. Yes, but the team is now making moves. You're watching it right now. They're making moves preemptively to set themselves up financially to be able to afford that, right? So this is the year now where you're going to start to see, like, why is this Debo's last year? Most people agree. Why? Why is it? It's not because they don't like Debo. They like Debo. They know they can't afford Debo if they're paying Brock Purdy. And they can't afford Ayuk. And they can't afford Kittle and CMC. You can't afford all of them. Like, if the quarterback is going to stay on $1 million contract, yeah, you can afford a million different things.
That's the whole reason why they drafted Trey Lance and made the moves to go get Trey Lance. To reset the quarterback room and get off the money and keep all the players around Trey Lance.
So, again, let's start with the conversation here. And you're doing it appropriately. He's really good. We all like him.
We all like him.
The question is he top of the market financially good enough to be able to keep this thing humming with lesser parts around him? That I don't know.
You know what bugs me? This is what bugs me. And you are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and AC1 San Francisco, and Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Don't forget that you could also watch us every single day on our YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter streams. Just log on and search 95.7 The Game. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel while you are there. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Upgrade your savings dividend. Open a First NorCal first-class money market today. Shout out to the Xfinity Mobile text line. I'll run into people on the street. They're like, boy, you're a Shanahan hater, aren't you? You don't like Shanahan. I said, no, I love Shanahan. But when I hear fans come up to me saying, we got our next Bill Walsh, I say, hold up, wait a minute.
we got to win one first.
Can I just get George Seifert?
Well,
Or, I mean, can I get Jim Harbaugh? You know what I'm saying? And now he may have catapulted Jim Harbaugh, but and if I critique him a little bit, I've been at the station for over 7.5 years. I've heard people crush Steph Curry, crush Draymond Green, crush Klay Thompson.
We just crushed
Steve
Debo.
Kerr, Bob Myers, Debo.
The Super Bowl. Let's. Debo is getting absolutely blasted
Destroyed.
for the Super Bowl. Like he didn't carry this team in 2021 and drag them to an NFC Championship game.
He didn't have 8 catches and 89 yards against the Detroit Lions in the NFC title game. He ran some damn good routes in that game, didn't he? But we could crush these Warriors who've won banner after banner after banner, 6 finals appearances, and we crushed them. Bob Myers, I'm still seeing people crush Bob Myers. Steve Kerr on his rotations. Brian Sabian, the architect. But if you go near Brock Purdy, I'll admit this, everybody, all the roasters, everybody listening to car radios, I'm scared to critique Brock Purdy. I get petrified because of the things I hit my DMs and the things I hear on Twitter, and we get labeled as Brock Purdy haters. Like we root against Brock Purdy to prove a point. No, we want Brock Purdy to be great. But what it is, this is what it is. I think he's a really good quarterback. Is he ready to carry the team?
Probably
no,
not
I don't
right
think
now.
so.
Probably
and
not right now.
Do I feel comfortable? Do I feel comfortable giving Brock Purdy generational, resetting the quarterback market?
No.
I get a little scared about that.
I mean, but if you found out, hey, he wants $25 million a year, everybody would be like, sign me up.
Sign me up for that.
Sign me up.
You get to 40, 50, 60.
So, let's talk about Tua. Tua's had a couple of really good years back to back. There's no way in hell I want to pay Tua $60 million. Do you?
I don't.
No. No. And I think Purdy's better than Tua. But I think the same type of metaphorical question remains, and Miami's having it right now. Damn, you're going to let Christian Wilkins go because you have to pay Tua down the line? Damn, are we going to have to lose Waddle or Hill because we have to pay Tua down the line?
Right.
A lot of people don't want to do that.
I remember last season, and even when Josh Allen was struggling, I was saying, I'd rather have Josh Allen than Brock Purdy. It's not criminal. Josh Allen's a top 5 quarterback. Brock Purdy's probably a top 12 quarterback. And that's okay. But if I say that, and when I say that, it's you're a Brock Purdy hater. Get off my airways. You suck, Bonte.
It's so unfair.
And I get
it's
honestly,
so unfair.
I get petrified criticizing anything with Brock Purdy. So sometimes we go over the top, like Jimmy Garoppolo. I'll never forget. They played the Detroit Lions, and I thought it was an okay Jimmy game. And you came out and said, I apologize to Jimmy because you were petrified that if you critique one little throw about Jimmy Garoppolo, you're going to get alienated.
I was probably one of the more outspoken Jimmy critiquers.
Right.
Wouldn't you agree?
And yep, absolutely.
And I got hit hard for it.
And that's okay.
So, the Josh Allen thing is a very interesting one. We see this with Lamar. I want you to just take a step back and put your Niner hat on the ground for a minute, okay? Gals and guys out there. Do you really think, all things being equal, any GM in the league is taking Brock over Lamar or Josh Allen? Now, given what the Niners want to do and things like that, you can make the argument for this, that, and the other. And then there's the financial component. Hey, if Brock's still making $900,000, give me Brock all day because I can afford all these other things. But just in a vacuum.
Pound for pound,
So when I see people be like, Lamar's done nothing in the playoffs. Yeah, you're factually correct. He also carries that organization. Josh Allen's done nothing in the playoffs. Did you watch the game? He hit his receivers over and over and over in between the numbers, and his kicker missed an extra a field goal attempt.
And it's not his fault. A couple seasons before that they allowed Buffalo or Kansas City to tie the game with 13 seconds left and no timeouts. Or one timeout. You know what I'm saying? So it's not his fault.
So we can go playoff wins as a stat. That's a team thing as well, and it's a coach thing. You put Josh Allen with Shanahan and you put Brock with McDermott, we're having different conversations. But these are the financial component is looming over the organization. Right. And so I do believe that people need to start preparing themselves. Guys like Debo, who you love, you're not going to be able to afford them when you give a guy $60 million. And no one is saying that they don't like Brock. We all love Brock. Is he $60 million, surrender other stud players on both sides of the ball, good enough to keep this thing humming? I don't know. We'll find out. That's why this year's big.
Yep. JJ San Jose, real quick, spent $5 on YouTube. Thank you very much. There's literally 0 quarterbacks who can carry a team. Enough with these ridiculous standards. What's Mahomes without Kelsey? All right. Maybe Mahomes isn't the Mahomes we know, but he does have Kelsey, and he maximizes him. But that's one tight end. Could you name his other wide receivers?
I mean, he just did it. He just did it with a bunch of no-namers. I mean, anyone could have had McCole Hardman at the deadline.
The year before. Yeah, Juju Smith-Schuster, dog.
I mean, who signed a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal after that?
They beat the Eagles, who we saw up close and personal, and I thought the Eagles were going to blow them off the map. But they didn't because of Mahomes.
Yeah.
Mahomes is special. We get it. Is Brock Purdy special? I think Brock Purdy's really, really good. Is he special good? I don't know yet, and that's okay because he's only entering his 3rd season at quarterback. But if you say that, oh, you guys don't believe it. Brock, you're a hater. We got our guy. Okay, well, we'll see. We shall see.